I think it's a good practice when you're going to come and lie down on the floor with your baby to put your baby down first, and then you can lie down on your side and just check in with your baby here. And this is a good base position to remember, because if while we're doing this practice you need to get up and do anything or respond to your baby's needs, remember it's much nicer to roll to your side and then sit up, and vice versa. Put the baby down, come down on your side and then come onto your back, than it is from lying on your back to very suddenly sit up like this. That's a bit, puts more strain on your body. So we're going to start in a position like this, lying on our backs, knees bent, feet on the floor. And if your baby's asleep or perfectly happy looking at their mobile or their toys, you might like to just leave them where they are, rest your hands on your belly, have your chin in line with your breastbone, and put a cushion or a pillow behind your head. If your baby's not settled, you might prefer to roll to your side. You scoop them up in your arms, bring them close in, tummy to tummy, and then you can roll back over onto your back and sit them up so they're sitting with their back against your top thighs. You can hold their feet or hold their hands, and if necessary put more pillows behind your head so you can see your baby easily and keep eye contact. So either of those positions is fine, baby sitting up on your tummy or baby lying down on their blanket. And we're going to start with a little lullaby, and you can massage your baby, gentle stroking, and help us all calm down a little bit. It's a very easy lullaby with one word. I'll sing it and you can sing along, or just listen and breathe deeply. Suale, 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 suale. Suale, 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 suale. Okay, so for our next little practice, you need to have your hands free, and I'm going to suggest you roll to your side again, lay the babies down on their blankets. And if, in fact, your baby needs some attention or is unsettled, needs to walk around, change your baby, feed your baby, anything like that, you could just now pause the recording, do whatever you need to do, and then come back and join back in. Okay, so our next practice is a little bridge pose. And when we do bridge pose, it's really important that you don't have pillows under your head. So you're going to take the pillows out from under your head. Baby's going to be lying safely next to you. If you've got a pillow or a cushion that you can put between your knees, that will be really helpful. We're going to put our hands down by our sides. So you've got your palms down on the floor, feet and ankles fairly close together, a little bit of a squeeze on your cushion. And in this practice, how it works is we're only going to move when we're breathing out. So you start with a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out through your nostrils if possible, you press down into your feet and lift your hips. And then we're going to maintain that position as we breathe in. And breathing out, we're going to slowly lower back down. So you inhale As you exhale, pressing into the feet and squeezing your cushion, you lift your hips up off the floor. We're going to stay in the bridge pose for the inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower back down. And so on. We'll do a few more like this. Inhale, moving on the exhale, press into your feet, squeeze your cushion, lift your hips. Stay for the inhale. And exhale, lower back down. And if you find that your baby responds well to funny noises when you're exhaling and moving, you can make a silly noise. You can also breathe normally, breathe quietly. Try to keep your chin in line with your breastbone, especially while you're in the pose. Tempting though it might be to turn your head and look at your baby. Do that in the gaps in between when you've got your pelvis on the floor. So we're going to do that just one more time, lifting the hips for the exhalation. Stay as you breathe in. Lower back down as you breathe out. And we're going to relax. You can take the cushion out from between your knees, put it back behind your head. You could roll over onto your side and have a little check-in with your baby, see how they're doing. For the next exercise, it's going to be easiest to do it again with your baby lying next to you. But if they need some attention, you need to do anything at all with your baby before we move on. Again, you can sit up, pause the recording, pick up your baby, do what you need to do, and then come back to your mat, lay your baby down, and again, come back onto your back. So you start by lying on your side, roll onto your back. This next one is a twist. So you're going to have your knees bent up and your feet quite wide apart. I'm on a yoga mat, my feet are about mat width apart. You don't need a yoga mat for these practices. You could just be lying on your living room floor, feet a little bit wider than your hips. If you've got the space to spread your arms, wonderful. If you haven't, maybe you just have your elbows out to the side a little bit and your fingertips on your bottom ribs. And we're going to make a movement little like this, like your knees are a pair of windscreen wipers. Okay, so my feet are staying on the mat, although I'm rolling on the edges of the feet. What's happening is my pelvis is also rolling, tilting from side to side. So I'm not trying to get my knees down to the floor. I'm just gently rocking. And then this movement, again, like the previous one, we're going to do it with the breath. So we're only moving with the exhalation. And you can make a nice long shh. So you twist to one side. Inhale, stay. And exhale, back to the middle. Inhale, stay. Exhale, knees to the side, stay for the inhale. Exhale, back to the middle. So often our babies will feel more settled when they can hear us breathing, which is why I'm demonstrating quite noisy breath here. It's fine to breathe normally. Or to make noise, make sound, completely up to you. However you do it, try and make the exhalations long and smooth. And we're staying still for the inhale and moving on the exhale. Stay still for the inhale, moving on the exhale. So we're going to do that a couple more times to each side. And then you can bring your feet together, roll back over onto your side, check in with your baby, have a little chat with them. And again, if your baby needs any attention, anything changing, moving, You can pause the recording, do what you need to do, and then come back to your mats. We're going to roll back over onto our backs, do another twist, but this time with feet and ankles together, knees together. In fact, you can take your cushion again, put that between the knees, will help you keep your knees together. So in this one, same breathing pattern, but we are going to be keeping the knees together. You get a slightly different sensation here. So we're going to inhale, exhaling, take the knees to one side, and I'm going to the left and my right foot is lifting off the floor. Again, I'm not trying to get my knees to the floor. I'm going to stay for the inhale and exhale back to the center. You'll see my feet more clearly now when I go to the other side. So inhale, center, exhale, squeezing on the cushion. Knees move a little bit to the other side. See the feet stay together. Stay for the inhale and exhale back. Inhale at the center. Exhale, knees to the side. Maybe just 2 or 3 inches. Stay for the inhale and exhale back to the center. And we carry on. And again, shh, making sound with your breath. Helps you know when you're breathing in and when you're breathing out, and is also reassuring to your baby. So this twist, we keep our upper back on the floor. Just the lower body moving. Once more to each side. And then completing that, you can put the cushion back behind your head. And we're going to roll over, check in with our babies. And we're going to scoop them up in our arms again and roll back over onto our backs, bringing the babies with us. Woo! So they get to join us for this next practice, which is a practice of knees to chest pose. And knees to chest pose, you don't need to do this with your baby. If your baby's fallen asleep or is perfectly happy on their own, you can do it without your baby, but this is a nice one to do with your baby. I call it baby flying. So you hold your baby underneath their armpits, lift them up into the air, and you bring your knees in towards your chest. Sometimes it's easier one and then the other, and your baby rests on your shins. So they're getting some tummy time. And we're getting knees to chest pose, which helps to release the lower back. You can just support your baby and rock a little from side to side. Take them around in a little circle and around the other way. And then as and when you or your baby's had enough of this, to bring them out, you again hold them under their armpits, separate your knees and let them come back down onto your tummy. Always nice to give them a little rub and say, well done. You can sit them up and again like this so they can relax. You can relax, do some stroking. So the baby flying is a nice one to do for fun and games with your baby and soothing for your lower back. And I've got a little song to sing just to finish our practice today, a little song, flying song. So you can join in with the flying song either in this position or with the knees to chest pose, baby flying, or just sitting, rocking, holding, swaying, minding your babies. So here we go. I'm going to take my baby on a flying journey. And first off, we're going to go to the Isle of Man in a frying pan. Last night as I lay sleeping, I dreamt that I was flying to the Isle of Man in a frying pan, and back again by morning. And now the Isle of Skye on an apple pie. Last night as I lay sleeping, I dreamt that I was flying to the Isle of Skye in an apple pie, and back again by morning. And then the Isle of Mull and a herring gull. Last night as I lay sleeping, I dreamt that I was flying to the Isle of Mull on a herring gull, and back again by morning. And then crash lands and have a little cuddle. So wherever you're at with your baby, lying, sitting, standing, walking, feeding, changing, any of those things, I invite you just to look at your babies with soft eyes and a warm heart. Have a deep breath. And thank you for joining me for this practice. Namaste.